Hi, my name's Dave. We're sitting in Karen Anderson's front yard. Karen's the reason we're here. Karen needs a new heart, and we're putting together a benefit this Saturday at the Blue Parrot on St. Pete Beach to help facilitate that, to raise money to get that happening. We've got great live bands, silent auctions, some great raffles. Karen, you're the reason we're here.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate all you've done for me here.
No problem. I guess it's probably best to start at the beginning. Where are you from? Who are you?
Okay, well, I'm Karen. I was named after all of my older cousins' dolls. All of her dolls were named Karen, so that's how I became Karen. I was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I spent most of my life living in Quincy, Massachusetts. My father's name was Charles. My mother's name was Edna. Then the whole life, my grandmother and her sister also lived with us until they died. So I have a very strong feeling of family. I have two brothers, an older brother named Charles and a younger brother named Paul. Paul, unfortunately, had a serious chemical addiction problem. He died a couple of years ago. I always knew that I was going to stay home and take care of my parents, and I did that. And once they were both unfortunately gone, I decided to move to Florida to follow some of my friends, Timothy Cully and Mary Conti, who had moved down here to Florida.
And when was that?
I was moved down here in 2001. But before I moved down here, after my father passed away, I met you up in Quincy, and we have been pals ever since then. And
1998, I believe.
Yeah, and then you followed me down here a couple of years later. I bought this house here. But eventually I had to sell it to try to pay off some of my medical bills, which was a feeble attempt, and I probably would have been better if I hadn't done that. But in 2004, in November, I couldn't catch my breath. I was here alone, and I just couldn't catch my breath, so I finally called 911, and they took me to Palms of Pasadena Hospital and found out I had a heart attack, which required me to have a quadruple bypass surgery, which I had a couple of days later. I thought I was pretty good until probably about a year or so ago. I was having all kinds of trouble getting around. I was tired all the time, and I was working doing medical billing and coding for a cardiologist out of Tampa General Hospital, and I was at work one day and I stood up and I just fell down, and my boss had seen enough, and she took me over to the emergency room, and they did all the tests and decided that I needed a heart transplant in order to survive. So that's kind of where we are, and that's kind of why we're here.
Now tell me, did your folks die of heart failure?
No, neither of my parents had heart issues, but my mother's brother did. So it does run in the family, and that's probably where I got it from.
Okay. And what's your hope for the future? When you get the new heart, are you going to be working, going to try to be working? You're going to try to...
Well, I hope to keep working. I enjoy my job. It's not too physically strenuous. Plus, the heart doctor who I work for is doing an awful lot of this, for free, and I certainly owe him more than I could ever pay him back. Sure. His name is Dr. Mark Weston, and he works out of Tampa General Hospital.
Okay. What do you think was the single issue that really brought all this on?
Well, from what I've heard, I have the doctor told me I have a congestive heart failure, in which your heart overworks trying to put oxygen back into your blood, and it just doesn't work. It just can't push out enough. And when I went in the hospital, they told me my heart was only working at 10% of capacity. So now I have this bag here for this stuff called Primacor, which goes in through my arm and into my heart, which now has me working at about 35%. So that's why I'm actually able to, I feel much better now than I did in May when this first happened. So.
And the prognosis was in May?
2010, yeah, May 10th, 2011 is when I was told, yeah.
Right. At that time they told you approximately a year.
A year. If nothing was done, I had approximately a year to live.
What the Primacor does, if I remember Dr. Weston telling me, it overstimulates the heart, and that it's really a short-term fix.
It's a short-term fix.
It's not something that you could conceivably stay on any more than a year.
No, that's my understanding of it also, is that it's not a permanent fix.
Can you tell me something about how you feel about the uprising of support you've had, the groundswell of support, specifically for the fundraiser coming up Saturday at the Blue Parrot, but in general?
I've been absolutely overwhelmed with the fact that total strangers who don't know me from Abraham will go out of their way to donate or to say, well, I can help do this, or I'll do this for you. I don't have any money, but I'll come on and do this for you. It's been absolutely overwhelming. I don't even have words to express how grateful I am for all of this.
Okay, great. Now, when this all these fundraising efforts happen, we're pretty sure we're going to be able to get you a heart, and it's going to be a yearly effort to get you the money that you're going to need from here on in. It's a hell of a jam to be in, but are you hopeful for the future that can happen? Or
well, yes, I am. I say the outpouring of support has been tremendous. I mean, I am distressed at times by the thought that somebody else has to die in order for me to have an opportunity to live, and I take that very seriously. You know, I'm not cavalier about this at all, but you know, I think I'm a pretty decent person. I've never gone out of my way to hurt anybody my whole life, and you know, I hope to get this and to keep going on. I understand that the suppressing of the drugs for the anti-rejection are just prohibitively expensive, and that's where where most of the money is going to end up going to. I have to prove that I can pay for the co-pays, you know, in order to get these drugs.
Now, as I remember, when you were first diagnosed, our big hopes were that we could get you signed up to Medicaid because you had no insurance. And for the first 2 months or so, we had all our hopes in that bucket that if she gets approved by Medicaid, that they'll take care of the operation and all of this. But there was a snag.
Well, yeah, because I was working, and they want you to be indigent. And I had to have several conversations with them, but eventually they stepped up, even though I have what they call a share of cost, that I'm supposed to pay approximately a little over $800 a month towards my own medical before Medicaid kicks in. So your understanding is that's the way that it works.
However, if you weren't working and declared full disability,
right, then they would have taken care of everything. As a matter of fact, I have another little offshoot of that. They had me apply for Social Security disability, and I went down and had an interview with them, and we decided that I'm not eligible because I'm still working. Well, a couple of days ago in the mail, I got a notice saying that they approved me, and I've been trying to call them on the phone now for like 2 days. I can't get anybody to listen to me. So I guess at some point in time, Medicare checks are going to start showing up, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them. So.
Things like that catch up eventually.
Yeah, they do. My next move is probably to go down there and talk to them in person to try to get them to stop that.
Okay, gotcha. Beyond fundraising, what's your hope for the future? You're what age?
61.
61. Yeah. And you're hoping to get another 10, 15, 20 years, obviously. We're hoping to get another 10, 15, 20 years out of you.
Well, since I've been kind of certainly slowed down by this over the last couple of years, I'd like to feel good enough to go back to doing some of the stuff I used to do. I have a little DJ business, or be able to go out with my friends and stay out for a while without having to go home and take a nap. And you know, I
go to Rays games.
Yep, go to the Rays. I'm a big baseball fan. You know, all the kind of stuff. You know, go for a walk around in the yard without having to take a rest in between. You know.
I've described your condition to people as kind of like watching a candle burn down. You know, you light a candle at the beginning of the night and it gives you light, and halfway through the night that light is still there, but at some point during the night you realize how much is gone.
Yeah.
And it's all those little things of the day-to-day existence that I'm seeing that you're missing now.
Yeah.
And it's really a quality of life issue.
Yeah, well, one of the things is
it'd be wonderful to get some or all of that back for you.
Yeah, it really would, you know, just to be able to enjoy the people that are around me. I live here with my kiddies and my older brother's oldest son, James, you know, and we don't get to do anything anymore, you know, because I'm just kind of, I can't like do stairs, and you know, like even going to the baseball game, I have trouble walking from the car to get to the game. So I'd love to be able to do that again, you know. And swimming, I can't swim with this thing on, and I miss that a lot. It's one of my favorite things to do.
just in closing, I wanted to say how good you're looking, Karen. It's good to see you with such joy of life still in you, even with everything you've been through, and hopeful for the future. And just wanted to mention again that we are having the charity fundraising concert at the Blue Parrot, 85 Corey Avenue, St. Pete Beach, 33707, this coming Saturday, October 1st, 2011. Feel free to attend. There's no cover. We have 3 live bands. It's going from 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 11 o'clock at night. We have some great raffles. We have food, silent auctions. It's going to be a great day. Karen, if you'd like to tell people how they can donate to you.
Yes, in order to help me out here, I do need to get some money. And also, if I don't use all this money or I don't get a heart, the money raised for this event will go to other people who are signed up with this this transplant fund, which is called NTAF. If you want to donate, please write to them in honor of Karen Anderson, NTAF 150 North Radnor, RADNOR, Chester Road, Suite F as in Frank, -120, in Radnor, Pennsylvania, 19087. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Or go to their website, ntaffund.org, and type my name in. Or you can look for other patients on there. This is an excellent group, and I hope to raise enough money so I can buy my new drugs. Thank you all.